Well, hello there, everybody. It's James Arnold Taylor. It's the James Arnold Taylor podcast. Now, that doesn't work at all. That's no good. That's not me at all, is it? You try new things. You try different things. Because see, I listen to podcasts and people come on and well, hello there. Welcome to my podcast. I'm here to tell you all about. That's not me. That's not the James Arnold Taylor podcast. Here's the James Arnold Taylor podcast. Are we rolling? Is this good? Okay, Hank? Well, you got to push the button. Okay, I don't know what you're saying. I don't know. Okay, Billy? I have to push the button. Okay, all right, everybody. Reginald, don't call me Reggie. Right. Mr. Announcer Guy!
Yeah, man.
Okay. Oh, let's call my agent, Franklin, and see if he's here. Franklin, are you ready?
Hello.
Hi, Brian.
You McGregor's gonna play Obi-Wan Kenobi again, not you.
Well, okay. All right. Brian, hi, it's James Arnold Taylor.
I know who you are.
Well, that's a nice change.
You McGregor's gonna play Obi-Wan Kenobi again. You're not gonna nana boo-boo.
Nani boo-boo. That's very nice. Thank you. Yes, Ewan McGregor is going to play Obi-Wan Kenobi again for a Star Wars miniseries television show, I'm sure, for their streaming service.
Yeah, that's awesome, and it's not you, because you're not Ewan McGregor. So you're not Obi-Wan Kenobi.
No. Hey now. I have played him for many, many years, and I am him whenever it's animated. Okay?
Whatever, dude. What do you want?
I was calling for your dad because the show's starting, and I was just saying how when other people start shows, they start with music and they go on and they say, hi, this is the James Arnold Taylor podcast, and talking to myself.
Yeah, but I bet you don't because you're lame.
Wouldn't it be funny if people realized or found out, rather, that you and I are actually really good friends, Brian, and that you just give me a bad time like this just for the show?
Yeah, but that's not true.
I know, but wouldn't it be nice if it was?
No.
Okay. Can I talk to your dad, my agent, Franklin?
Well, I know who he is.
No, look, you're on the podcast now.
I'm on the podcast?
Yes.
Everybody, dudes, you should listen to Brian's plays. Brian's podcast is totally cool. It's better than this stupid podcast. And you listen on where the podcasts are sold.
Podcasts aren't sold anywhere, Brian.
Whatever, dude. You're lame. Listen to Brian's plays. Brian's pad.
Is it Brian's place or Brian's pad?
Doesn't matter, dude. It's my podcast.
How many episodes have you guys done so far?
I haven't done any.
Okay, so you don't even have a podcast?
No, I'm on yours though, so this is mine.
That doesn't make any sense at all.
Whatever, dude.
Anyways, can I talk to your dad, Franklin, my agent?
I already said I know who he is.
As I was saying, I'm explaining to the audience who he is and who you are. You're the son of Franklin, my agent for my voiceover career.
Yeah, so I can get you jobs too.
Oh, are you an agent now? Has Franklin made you an agent?
No.
Okay, then you can't get me jobs.
Well, you're not good enough anyways.
Hey, look, this show is all about positivity, about living positive, being friendly and happy, loving your neighbor as yourself. And you come on here and then you just put me down, Brian.
Well, now I feel bad.
Okay. Well, maybe you should. Sometimes we all need a little tough love.
All right. Maybe you're right.
Wow. Have I really gotten through to you?
Not at all, dude. I was giving you a bad time. You're lame. Hang on. Let me get my dad. Dad.
What?
Dad.
How many times do I have to say what? What?
It's Obi. I'm not Ewan McGregor, so I don't have a show. And I'm a loser. Arnold, Taylor, dude.
Oh, give me the phone. No, give me. Give me.
Stop it. Ow, that's my foot.
That doesn't even make sense. Hello, darling.
Hello, Franklin. Franklin, we're on the podcast, and I've just started the podcast, and I was just saying, I'm kind of just talking to all the characters on the show because the show's called Talking to Myself. It's me, it's James Arnold Taylor. I'm a podcaster, but I'm also a voice actor in Hollywood doing voices, and doing voices is what I do, and all the characters on the show are part of it.
Yes, they are. And that's a big, long way to go just to introduce your show when you've already been on for a few minutes.
Okay, all right, whatever, man. I was just calling to say hi. Look, you haven't been on the podcast in a while, and I thought maybe I'd put you on the show. But then Brian gets on there. Brian starts telling me I'm a loser and everything, and I'm not Ewan McGregor. And no thanks to you. Hey, Franklin, you're my agent. You know what you should do is you ought to start a campaign on social media and stuff to get everybody, to get me to have like a cameo in the Obi-Wan Kenobi miniseries that is going to be on Disney streaming service.
Ooh, that was such a good idea, I toot.
Okay, all right.
That's a wonderful idea, darling, yeah. You should do that. You should totally do that.
Well, no, I'm saying you should do that.
Yeah, but your social media is much bigger than mine.
Do you have a social media? Are you on Twitter and Instagram and stuff?
Yeah, I have Franklin. It's Franklin's place.
What is it, like Brian's place?
Yeah, I stole it from him.
Yeah, but his isn't even real.
Well, neither is mine.
Oh, that's right, because you guys aren't real.
That's right. I'm so excited I toot.
Would you please stop with the so excited you toot? Okay, so you don't have any followers or anything?
No, I have two.
Who follows you?
Brian.
Okay.
And our dog, Booby.
Your dog, Booby?
Yeah, our dog, Booby.
So, I like to hear, for some strangers, I like hearing you say your dog, Booby.
He's my doggy, Booby. Hello, Booby. It's your Booby. Booby's right there. Hello, Booby. Booby, wiggy, wag your tail, Booby. It's a James Arnold Taylor podcast. Hello, Booby. It's your Booby. Booby. Hello.
Was that Booby?
No, that was me doing dog noises.
Okay. All right. What kind of dog is Booby?
He's a little terrier, and he's cute, and he looks like a little stuffed animal. I just love him.
Okay, so you made a social media account for your dog Booby, and now Booby and he follows you, and then Brian follows you?
Yeah, but Brian doesn't really follow me. I just went on and I got his phone and I put it on so he will follow, but he doesn't know.
Hey, I can hear you. I'm unfollowing you.
No, Brian, don't. I only have you and the Booby.
Okay, guys, this is going nowhere. So I'm going to hang up on you now, but get on that, man. Would you see it? But, because how great would it be, Franklin, if I had a cameo because I had a cameo in the Kenobi short film that Jamie Costa made, and we recorded that we shot that a few weeks ago, and that's going to come out. That'll come out before the Disney one comes out, which is pretty exciting. So I'll have a cameo in that, but maybe you should give me a cameo in this. Get people behind it.
Well, maybe people listening to your social media, to your podcasting thing.
It's a podcast, not social media.
Yeah, this is a podcast. Maybe they'll start a campaign now.
Now, maybe they will. I don't know. Who knows? But it would be neat if I had a little part in it. People have been saying that. They've been emailing me, and on social media, people have been saying you should be in the Kenobi thing when it comes out and all that.
I think it's a wonderful idea, darling. You get on that.
Okay, but you're my agent. You're the one that's supposed to get on that.
I know, but I have to go feed Booby.
All right, Franklin. Thanks for being on the show.
All right, darling. I will love you. Bye-bye. Oh, no, I was talking to Booby. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye. It's a weird start to the James Arnold Taylor podcast, isn't it? We should do. Well, let's do it the official way. Let's bring in Mr. Announcer Guy. Hey, Mr. Announcer Guy.
Oh, yes, James.
You want to introduce the show?
You got it, Bubby.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, it's the James Arnold Taylor podcast. Talking to myself, the JATcast, Season 2, Episode 5. On today's show, Jet's gonna read your emails.
That's right.
And now, here he is, the guy that's doing all the voices, including this one, James Arnold Taylor!
Thanks, Mr. Announcer Guy.
You get it, Bubby.
All right. Are you going to go now?
That's right, I'm going to go now.
And there he goes, Bubby. All righty, everybody. Welcome to the James Arnold Taylor Podcast. I was always a fan of the pre-show show, the little joke, the little pre-thing, the stuff that happens before a show officially starts. And that's why we do that here on the James Arnold Taylor Podcast. If you ever watched, if you ever gone to my YouTube channel, so James Arnold Taylor, go to YouTube. And I think you can search JAT Actor, J-A-T Actor. That's my handle on social media, J-A-T Actor, because I'm James Arnold Taylor and I'm an actor. I'm not just a voice actor, I'm an actor. Because if you say voice actor, then people think we're not real actors. It's amazing. I have an interview on a podcast I'm going to be doing later here today. And I was looking at they sent me the questions beforehand. And one of the questions was, now you've played Obi-Wan Kenobi. They said, how did they put it? They put, you've voiced Obi-Wan Kenobi more than the actors that have. More than the actors that have played him. And I think, well, I'm an actor that's played him as well. Anyways, people don't think of voice acting as all that real sometimes, but I don't think they mean it in a bad way. I think they just, that's just the way they think of it as just voice. But so we're actors. So go to my YouTube channel. So on my YouTube channel, there's a show called The JAT Show. There's only 2 episodes. I only recorded 2 episodes. One with my dear friend Tom Wilson and one with my other dear friend and hero, Jim Cummings. The voice of Winnie the Pooh and Tigger 2 and so many other Darkwing Duck and Hondo Anaka and amazing amounts of characters. And Tom Wilson, of course, my dear friend, who is a wonderful actor. And you know him from Back to the Future fame and Freaks and Geeks and many other projects and things and fun, wonderful things. And he's an amazing painter. And I interviewed both of them, and it was called The JAT Show. I'd love to do more episodes of it. Maybe I will at some point. Maybe I will. But for now, I'm focusing on this right here, the podcast. Because why? Because I love doing it. I love all of you. And I believe in all of you. And if you're here listening to the James Arnold Taylor Podcast, you got to have what? What are the preconditioned things? I don't know if that's the proper, wow, is that what you would say? What are there's a word. I've been having that lately where I can't find words because I'm an old man. Anyways, what are the stuff? I'm pork and pig now. The things you got to have before you come and listen to the James Arnold Taylor Podcast. Big bottle of water, big cup of water, big glass of water, big something of water to drink, sip. Let's see. Oh, prerequisite. That's what it is. Prerequisite. That's good water. That's the prerequisite. Big thing of water, and we're going to breathe. Now, that was a little quicker, but normally I say breathe in for a count of 4, hold for a count of 7, breathe out for a count of 8. Do that 4, 5, 6, 7 times. Woo! Really, that'll get the blood flowing in your body. Do that sitting down, though. You don't want to hurt yourself. Because sometimes you get dizzy if you're not used to breathing. Do that on a regular basis throughout your day. Drink a lot of water. Breathe deep. Breathe deep. Breathe deep. That will help your life. It really will. The other thing, be mindful. Where are you right now? You're hanging out. You're listening to the James Arnold Taylor Podcast. Everything is all right, man. Everything is cool, groovy, hip, and all right. If you've been going through tough stuff this week, I want to tell you right now, I'm sorry. But that's why you're listening to the show, so you can make it better. We're going to be mindful right now. We're mindful. What does that mean? If you're new to the show, what does it mean to be mindful? It means you're aware of everything going on around you, your surroundings, but also your body. You're feeling the weight of your body sitting in the chair or standing or whatever. You're just living in the now. So you start thinking about, where's my body? How's it sitting? What's it doing? What am I doing? What's the temperature feel like right here in the room or the place I'm at or in my car or whatever I'm doing? Feeling the cool of the air conditioner blowing on your face or the heater or whatever it is. Be mindful, okay? Live in the present. What happened yesterday doesn't matter. What happened earlier today doesn't matter. What's going to happen later doesn't matter. Right now is what matters. And right now we're spending time together, okay? This episode, I'm going to read a lot of your emails because we've been getting so many. And we get a lot with a lot of questions and a lot of important things people ask and things I want to cover. And there's some really important ones here too. So we're going to cover those. And we are also going to talk a lot about what? I don't know. I don't know. Hank, do you know?
What? No, I think we should talk about cheese.
Cheese.
Yeah, I like cheese.
I'm sure you like onion sandwiches and cheese. You are the polar opposite of me. You know what? That's funny. I never realized that. You are really the opposite of me, Hank.
Yeah, no, maybe
Slow down.
Maybe you're the opposite of me.
Well, yeah, it's kind of the same thing.
No, but it's different. Or is it?
Okay, what are you doing with that? And what are you leaning in? Yeah.
Or is it? Hello.
All right, okay. You haven't done hello in a long time. If people know the podcast, from day one, Hank is our engineer. He's the one that does all the equipment here on the show. And he always tests the microphone by smacking on it and saying hello, which is the worst way to test a microphone.
Well, you know you. Hello.
Get away from it. Stop that. It's the Aston microphone. Aston is the official microphone of the James Arnold Taylor podcast. They're not a sponsor per se, but they are a wonderful product. People always ask me what kind of microphones. As a voice actor, what do I like to use? I use the Aston microphone. The Aston Origin is what I'm recording on. I have several of them here at the James Arnold Taylor Studios. The JAT Studios. The JAT Studio is in my home currently. There's a big airplane going overhead. Do you hear that? I don't know if you do. Yes, JAT Studios here in my house. Let me say this also. If you listened last week, you knew that I was waiting to see about fires. No fires came into our neighborhood, thankfully, but they got extremely close, very close, like a couple miles, a few miles away. I don't want to say a couple because couple means two, but a few miles, probably 4, maybe 5 miles away were the fires, which is pretty darn close. But last year, the fires got just across the street, which is much closer, and houses burned down, and it was very tragic. And what's really sad is all the houses that burned down, hardly any, if maybe 1 or 2 are being rebuilt in our neighborhood, and the rest are they're gone, and it's just a field now, or just an open space, and they're selling the land. It's very sad. It's very tragic. But thankfully this year, thank you, Jesus, we did not have the fires hit too close to our neighborhood there then. But there was some homes lost. There has been property, in the Reagan Library almost got burned out. But boy, they did a good job of saving the Reagan Library. So we live close to Simi Valley, which is where that one fire was, the Easy Fire. And then there was another one, the Maria Fire, which I believe is all contained now. But that one on Halloween night, which is Adoption Day at the Taylor House. If y'all follow me on social media, hey, please do so if you haven't already. Just like follow me on YouTube, like I was saying. Go to YouTube, search James Arnold Taylor or JAT Actor and user JAT Actor, user James Arnold Taylor, and click subscribe and follow me. You'll just get messages when I have a new video out or the podcast comes out. But I don't harass you and it doesn't cost anything. Check out the videos, check out the stuff. There's always new, fun, exciting things going on my channels. And on social media, you can follow me, JAT Actor. And there's just so much going on in all of these. But anyways, on my social media, I was posted pictures of my wife and my daughter and I because October 31st, 2005 was Adoption Day. It wasn't Halloween for us at the Taylor House. It was Adoption Day, and we were in China where we adopted our 8-month-old. She was 8 months old at the time, our little Lydia Rose, who is now 14 years old. So that was a long time ago. So every year since, Halloween has not been Halloween. It has been Adoption Day, which is wonderful for us as a family because, look, I got to tell you the truth. As a Christian, I don't really celebrate Halloween. It's not one, and I don't mean that to sound weird because I know it's like the biggest holiday in the United States nowadays. People love it more than Christmas now, which kind of breaks my heart. But it's just not. It's not my thing. I'm not into scary movies. I'm not into all that junk. And so, but I know a lot of people love it. And if you love it, please know I'm not judging or I'm not putting you down. That's great. People love candy and they love scary stuff. I don't eat candy and I don't like scary things. So Halloween is my least favorite holiday. But I love Adoption Day. And so, you know, what we do is, look, we still, my daughter is 14. She still went out trick-or-treating with her friends. And we all went, all the parents. So we have a big party. We have a big Adoption Day party, and everybody dresses up. It's a good excuse for everybody to still get in costumes and dress up. When my daughter was little, she couldn't understand why everybody dressed up for her Adoption Day. She thought it was neat because it was Halloween, you know. And we would give her books and things instead. We would get, instead of candy, because we didn't grow up, she didn't grow up eating candy and stuff. We let her eat some now and then from time to time now, and we let her do her thing, you know, with her friends and have her freedom with that. But she doesn't like any of it, which is wonderful. We love that. See, if you grow up not eating candy, when you eat it, you don't go, ooh, this is so good. You kind of go, eh, because she's always grown up eating sweets. She's had sweet things, but they've all been made from, you know, fruit or honey or brown rice syrup or, you know, things that are good for you, coconut sugar, and made with love, homemade stuff and all. And then there's some chocolates that we get. We love Eating Evolved chocolates. I do. There's a video on my YouTube channel. You can see Eating Evolved. Oh, man, do they have some beautiful, excellent, delicious chocolates. I recommend you get Eating Evolved. It's organic. It's all beautiful. There's like 3 ingredients in all of it. And that's the key to really healthy stuff. Don't get a lot of ingredients. Anyways, so we celebrated Adoption Day. And on Adoption Day, we were walking around taking the kids trick-or-treating and stuff. And you could see the fire, the Maria fire, breaking up over the hill from our house. And it was like flames. And it was very scary. And we're like, oh, boy. But no, we've been through it all now. It's the next week. Everything is better. In fact, I'm recording this on Monday, the 4th. I don't know if that matters to anybody. Sometimes, you know, I always mention the dates, but it's just, you know, because you'll be listening to this on the 13th. But last week's one that I just finished editing. See, I'm doing a bunch of them because I'm actually going out of town. I'm going to Nashville I'm going to Franklin, Tennessee, and then I'm going to visit Nashville while I'm there. This in a couple weeks here. In fact, the day after this podcast comes out is when I'm going. So there you go. But so when you're listening to this, I'll probably already be in Tennessee. So if you're in Tennessee and you see Jat, say, "Hey, Jat." You probably won't see me, but wouldn't that be weird? Wouldn't that be something? If somebody hey, Hank, wouldn't that be what? Hello. No. Wouldn't it be something if when I'm in Tennessee, somebody that listens to this show sees me and goes, "Hey, Jat, there you are."
What? I mean, what else are they going to say if they see you?
No, I'm saying in Tennessee. Forget it.
I got it, Mr. James.
Oh, thank you, Billy. Billy, I didn't even know you were there.
Well, I didn't know I was there until you started talking.
What is that? Oh, yeah. Okay, great. Now, Billy, are you coming with us to Nashville? I don't remember.
Oh, yes, sir, Mr. James. Yes, sir, James.
Just James.
Texas James.
No,
good old boy James.
Good old boy James. Yes, because I'm going to the South. Yeah.
Yeehaw, James.
Okay, you're going with us. That's cool. You're gonna help.
Well, yes, sir, Mr. James. Yes, because I always help everything out with the family and all.
You do. You're a very good helper here at the Taylor house, and I appreciate it very much, Billy. You're a wonderful intern. You really are. All right, so James Arnold Taylor podcast. What's going on? Well, I've kind of filled you in on a lot of stuff that's going on, but you know what's funny? So today is a Monday. I've got an interview I've got to do here in a little bit. So, but you guys will know no difference. I will simply stop recording, do the interview, and then start recording again and come back, and it'll be like nothing ever happened. But when it happens, I'll tell you. How's that? Okay? And then you can see. Yeah, they're calling me in about an hour to do another podcast. A lot of people want me to be on their podcast. If you're one of those people, you know, the way to do it is go to jamesarnoldtaylor.com and click on the booking little link, the booking link up in the top right-hand corner of the website, and fill out the appropriate information there. That will go to my agents, and my agents then contact my manager, who is my wife, and then my wife contacts me. Boy, it's such a chain of command, isn't it? But that's the way they do it because they run my schedule. They handle all that stuff. My agent, my real agent, not my podcast agent, Franklin, who is not really my real agent. Don't tell him. Shh. But my real agent, Dean Panaro, who has been my agent for many years, and I love him like a brother, and he's a great guy. And it's Dean Panaro Talent. But anyway, so it goes to him, and then he checks it all out, and then he sends it all off, and then they, make sure if you're doing that and you're a podcast, make sure you're a real podcast and you have all that stuff, because that's what happens is they look up the links and they check it out and make sure you're all on the up and up and everything. because we get a lot of requests here, just like we get a lot of emails. And that's why we were going to spend a good portion of today's show taking your emails. But before we do, let me finish my thought. I'm getting a bunch of episodes done today. Why, how, whatever, because my wife and my daughter are off on a homeschool camping retreat because we homeschool our daughter, and we have a big homeschool group that gets together and does things regularly each week. And they are going camping this week as a big deal, and they're going up into the mountains. And they're already there, actually. My wife texted me earlier and said they're there. And they'll be there till Thursday. Look at that. That's a long time. So I am on my own till Thursday. So what does James Arnold Taylor do when he's home alone? Like Macaulay Culkin in the movie Home Alone? No. Hopefully, Daniel Stern and Joe Pesci don't try to break in. That's what I would say. But I guess I do kind of act like Macaulay Culkin. I hang out and I eat food and I watch old movies. No, that's some of it. But another part of it is I work on things like the podcast. That's what I'm doing. So I'm going to record a couple episodes of the podcast here because I want to be ahead because of my traveling. Because when I leave, they all need to be done and scheduled. It's easier. That way you all get your JATcasts. See, so it's better. It's better that I pre-record them then in that regard. So that's what we're doing. But do I like being alone? I like being alone for small amounts of time. I don't love being alone. Like, I don't love my family being away. No, I don't like it. I'm happy for them. I'm glad they're doing it. I know they're going to have a great time. I know they're already having a great time. Will I have a great time? I'll have a fine time. I will. Here's what I'll do. I'll spend a lot of time in prayer. There he goes again. That wacky Christian James talking about Jesus again. That's what I do here on the James Arnold Taylor podcast. Again, as I always say, my little disclaimer is, yes, I'm a Christian and I'm very open about my Christianity, but I am so you can all see that Christians are just normal folks, just like you are normal folk. And if I was talking to you and you were telling me about whatever you believe, I'd be wanting to listen and hear about it so I could learn and see about it. And I can understand you better and not judge you and just enjoy you and your life. And that's why I do it for me with you, because I think a lot of people sometimes think Christianity is this very different thing than what it really is. Because what it really is just, I'm a normal guy, but I happen to give my life over to a higher power than me, and that is God, specifically through his son, Jesus Christ. And it's just that easy. And he's my best friend. So I spend a lot of time praying for all of you that listen to the show, praying for my family, praying for my friends, praying for people that I know are ill, praying for people that need prayer, praying for people that need to know Jesus. I just spend a lot of time praying. I do. A lot of time talking to God. A lot of time reading my Bible. I'm a really boring guy. You go, wow, it'd be so fun to be like James Arnold Taylor or to hang out with a celebrity like James Arnold Taylor. I bet it's really exciting. I sit around and read my Bible and pray for people. And then I watch a little TV here and there, or I listen to a lot of music. I spend a lot of time listening to a lot of music. And I spend most of my time cooking food. I do. And, I'll go out. Like, I got a dinner planned with one of my best friends tomorrow night. And I'm getting a haircut tomorrow. And I'm doing some neurofeedback. I've talked about neurofeedback. Neurofeedback is a really wonderful thing that has really changed my life and has really helped my brain focus. Look it up. I'm doing a session of that. And I'll run on my Peloton treadmill. I get nothing from Peloton for that. I wish I did. Wouldn't that have been nice? Anyways, I'll run a few miles a day on the treadmill. I'll do a little working out. Get the brain and the body working together. That's important. And then the rest of the week, I don't know. I don't have any jobs this week. That's kind of, some as a voice actor, you never know. So thus far, I have no jobs. Although more than likely work for Fox will pop up at any moment and they'll say, Fox needs you at 2:30 today. And then I'll go into my little booth and I'll record things for them for a few minutes and then that's it. But so some would say, wow, that's pretty easy. That's a charmed life. Yeah, but other times, it's really tough when you don't have any one specific thing to do, because then you go, what should I do? And I mean, I have lots going on. That sounds like I don't have a lot going on. On weeks where I don't have jobs, it feels very slow sometimes. and then you try not to concern yourself with, ooh, money's got to come in and everything. But that's why you save and you spend your money wisely and you try not to get into debt. Again, as I've mentioned before, I listen to Dave Ramsey and I follow his principles. If you don't know Dave Ramsey, check that out. I get nothing for saying that. I'm a big fan of his show. And I think it's really, really, really important work that he is doing for people, helping people get out of debt. His program, his principles certainly helped my wife and I get out of debt. And because we all have debt, now we never had any like huge debt and big financial problems. But we had, credit cards and stuff we were using. And then we realized, you know what, that's just not the way to go. So let's pay them off. Let's be done with it. And that's what you do. I know that's easier said than done, but it is actually. Here's what if you're somebody that actually has debt and has problems and spending problems, do yourself a favor. Don't just listen to my podcast. Go listen to Dave Ramsey, okay? Dave Ramsey. Go to daveramsey.com or just search for him on your podcast, wherever you listen to podcasts. What a great show. He's a fellow Christian, so but he's not like me. I talk about Jesus all the time on this show. He just gives little scriptures here and there and stuff, but mainly his show is to help people with their financial issues and problem solve with them. Not just financial stuff. He helps people solve their problems in life and situations in life and stuff. He's just like I'm doing. He's just trying to help be a light of Christ to people, and that's all I'm trying to do here too. So there you go. But anyway, so yeah, that's I'll listen to a lot of his podcasts over the next. I've listened to like 4 episodes of his podcast today already, while I was making food, and I drove my wife and daughter off to the drop off point for their camp, and then I drove back. I listened to some episodes of his podcast. I listened to some while I was making food today and eating. Yep, it's an exciting life being a voice actor and a celebrity. Hey, you know what else I watched? And then we're going to get to your emails here. You know what else I watched today was a video that popped up on my YouTube was about Ewan McGregor on Jimmy Kimmel talking about having to keep the secret of Obi-Wan Kenobi all these years. And then I watched another one on Conan O'Brien of him. And it was interesting because Ewan McGregor was saying that all these years he's had to lie all this time, that he's known about doing an Obi-Wan project, but he kept having to lie. And when people would ask him, because I remember this throughout all these years, people have been asking him and he's going, well, no, great. If they asked me, I'd love to, I'd be up for doing it and stuff. He goes, but the problem is it started people thinking that maybe I wasn't, like I was begging for the job, and they weren't thinking of using me. And so it started to bug him because it was like, of course they're going to use me. And he knew that, but he couldn't say anything because they didn't want him saying anything about it. But now that it's out, he can say it. But it was like, yeah, I thought that was kind of funny. I'm happy for Ewan McGregor doing Obi-Wan Kenobi on the miniseries. I think it's going to be a great thing. I think it'll be very cool. It was interesting watching the interview with him, though, too, because he talked about having his fan moment at Disney, I think at Galaxy's Edge or someplace he talked about, or maybe, I don't know where it was that they made the announcement and brought him out. But he said seeing all this masses of fans of people that were Obi-Wan fans screaming for him really gave him his William Shatner moment. From the old Saturday Night Live bit where William Shatner did the whole thing, get a life, but it was funny because what you see is very different. So there's 2 living people that have played Obi-Wan Kenobi more than anybody, and that's Ewan McGregor and myself. I've actually played him a lot more than him, and again, that's not a brag, that's just a fact. But so there's 2 of us on the planet that have played Obi-Wan more than anybody. And what's funny is over the last almost 18 years of me playing Obi-Wan, I have been ensconced in the character of Obi-Wan Kenobi and the world of Obi-Wan Kenobi, and was a fan and still am a fan and take it all in. And watching him on this interview with Jimmy Kimmel, you can see it on Facebook, on YouTube. You can tell he's completely removed from Star Wars or any of that outside of playing Obi-Wan, 15 years ago in the prequels. I don't mean that as a negative towards him, but you can also see celebrities at that scale, at that height, with that much money and fame and power. They don't concern themselves with this stuff at all. So you could tell that he was kind of, in one hand kind of saying like, oh yeah, I'll get back to it. And I'm excited because it's my part and I want to play it. But on the other hand, there was this kind of thing of like, he's completely disconnected from it. He doesn't really know anything about it. He probably doesn't even know there's a cartoon called Clone Wars. And I'm sure he doesn't know I exist. But it was an interesting kind of little light bulb moment for me watching it going, wow, there's a difference between a major celebrity playing a very famous character and a voice actor playing a very famous character. The voice actor will ensconce themselves in it. Yeah, they spend their time on camera actors, for a year or 3 months or 6 months or whatever, ensconced in a role, and then they let go of it. Voice actors, I've played Obi-Wan nonstop for, like I say, these 18 years now. So it's different. It's just very different because, every few months or every few weeks or every couple days or whatever, I can come back to a character like Obi-Wan or, Silver Surfer or The Flash or whomever I'm playing, to where they will play it once in a movie and then that's it. Does that make sense? Because I'm in no way trying to come off wrong in any of this. Oh boy. Anyways, I should get to your cards and letters. I just thought it was interesting. It was a real epiphany for me as the other guy that's played Obi-Wan to see how much my life has been ensconced in Obi-Wan and how little he's thought of Obi-Wan over these last 15 years. It was just an interesting thing. And I know he's going to kill it. He's going to do a great job. He's going to be amazing as him for the thing. But hey, as Franklin was saying, or as I was saying to Franklin, yeah, if you all want to start a campaign, get me, let the people know you want Jat to have a cameo in it. That'd be great. I don't think they will. But I would hope, if anybody listening from Disney, hey, put Jat in. It'd be fun. I'd do a great job. It'd be really fun and it would be wonderful for the fans. Don't you think all of you would love seeing me, not just hearing me, but seeing me like in a costume or something as a character in that Obi-Wan Kenobi miniseries? Wouldn't that be fun? All right. I'm just a lowly voice actor and I'm just trying to garner support. There you go. Hey, let's take your emails. Hey, Bob. Bob.
Oh, hello, James. Hello.
I still have never told anybody where Hey Bob comes from.
No, you haven't.
Should I tell y'all?
Oh, well, I don't know.
Well, it's from my daughter. And so it's a thing she used to say, hey, Bob, about a little character. She had a little stuffed animal. And we named him Bob because when she had him, he was a little bear. And she'd go, hey, Bob, when she was a baby, like a little baby. And that's where Hey Bob came from.
Oh, and there you go. And there I am.
There you are, Bob. Hey, Bob. So, Bob, we've got a lot of emails.
Oh, and doobity-dee and deebity-doo. People have gone to jamesarnoldtaylor.com.
Yes, they have. And they've clicked on the Jat Show link. That's a different one from the bookings for podcasts. This is different. You go to the Jat Show link. You click on the Jat Show link there, and then you choose a topic in the drop-down menu where it says choose a topic. Make sure you choose a topic. And if you want it to be read on the show, then choose the JATcast podcast as your topic. Fill out the country. It says country. You could also put where you're from in the country. I like knowing where people are from. I like, so if you're from, California or wherever, in California, you could say it. That way I can say, Joe from Temecula, California, or whatever.
Oh, that's right. Yes, very good.
Okay. So anyways, Bob, we've got a lot. What do you want to do?
Oh, well, I just want to, let's take a look and see what we have. We have one from Gavin in the United Kingdom.
Gavin in the United Kingdom. What's Gavin say?
Says, hi, Jat. I'm a huge fan. I've been a fan of yours since Final Fantasy X.
Oh, that's awesome. So that's many years. That's like 16, 17, 18 years now.
Yeah, oh yes. In school and in the British version of college, I was always the person saying, Cloud is cool and all, but Tidus is the best Final Fantasy character ever.
Well, thank you. That's very nice of you to say. Some people love Tidus. Other people, Tidus has to laugh at.
Oh, you did the laugh.
Yes, I did.
Oh, okay, so very good. Now it says, now on to my question. If Square decides to make Final Fantasy X-3, would you want to play Tidus again? I could not imagine anyone else taking over the role and giving him the same upbeat and passionate nature you do. Thank you. And P.S. Sorry the message is so long.
Well, Gavin, first off, the message is not long at all. Believe me, I get very long emails, and I don't mind that either. Thank you for your email, Gavin. It was not long at all, and I really appreciate what you said. And yes, I would expect that I would be very sad if they didn't ask me to play the part. I would hope they would. I've played Tidus for all these years now and everything. The only time I did not play him was in the very first place outside of Final Fantasy. He appeared, which was in Kingdom Hearts, in the original Kingdom Hearts, I think. And they got Disney, was making it. So Disney decided to get one of their kid voice actors or it was a kid actor from one of their on-camera shows because he was kind of famous and they thought it would be good for him to play Tidus. And they had him play him at a younger age, but I could have played him. And I was not happy that they did that. We all take it very, we love these characters, voice actors. And when we play characters, we don't want to be replaced. And we get replaced quite often. And that's why sometimes it's hurtful to us when these companies don't think of us. But the people at Square Enix have always been wonderful to me and have always had me play Tidus. I have played Tidus in I don't even know how many different games. There's been various games of Dissidia. There was the Mobius app that came out last year. There was a Final Fantasy Mobius app, which I highly recommend everybody get because it's free. It's a phone app and it was a lot of fun. And in it, I recreated a bunch of scenes, including the laughing scene, and retold some stories of Final Fantasy X. I thought it was really cool. But I have always played him, and I imagine I still will be asked if they were ever to make a Final Fantasy X-3. There's a lot of talk of it. Wouldn't that be great? Everybody, let them know you want it. We'll see. But I really appreciate that, Gavin. I'm so glad that you've been a fan, and I thank you for listening to my story. Oh, indubitably-do. Let's go to another one. Yeah, let's do it. Okay. Oh, you know what? Oh, Bob. Okay, I see the one you're about to read. Yes. I was going to ask if you wanted to read this. Yes, I do. Now, here's the reason why is because some of these are very personal and they're serious letters. And I don't want to make light of them by having any of my characters read them. And this one is no exception to that. This one I got in and got it a week or so ago, and it touched my heart. And I want to share it with all of you. And I hope and pray that Colin is listening, and I believe Colin, that's how I would pronounce your name, Kollin, because Colin sent me a very heartfelt email here, and I want to read it to y'all now. It's Colin from Utah in the United States. Hey, James, I'm an avid listener and follower. I absolutely love your show. I need some advice or support on a pretty heavy topic. Today, I lost my job. I worked for a woodworking company, and one of the biggest risks is a fire. Everything is flammable, our wood, our packaging, and today, however, was a nightmare come true. Just right at lunchtime, a fire broke out in our stain booth. Wood, stain, and lacquer is flammable. The stain booth immediately ignited and then sent the building ablaze. My manager, who is a good friend and I went to high school with, barely got out. Luckily, no one was hurt, or worse. As I'm writing this 15 hours after the initial blaze, it is still burning. Wow, the fire is still burning there then. Luckily, the fire is contained. I'm wondering if you could help with any advice on how to deal with stress and tragedies. Anything spiritual is great as well. Right now, I'm in a depressed state, trying to figure out what to do now. What to do about money, job, bills, ends meet, and dealing with this loss. I loved the job and the people there. I especially loved listening to your podcast while I worked. It was the highlight of my workday. Sorry, this is super heavy, but you're a beacon of light to me and to countless others. You're a great role model, and I'm always looking up to you. Love you, James. You're an awesome guy. Colin, this letter, it breaks my heart. It really breaks my heart, and I'm so sorry about all this.
And I'm also sorry that, it takes so long sometimes for me to get back to everybody's emails because so many come in. And I'm sorry I did not get back to you immediately when this was sent. But I wanted to read it on the show here. I want to offer my prayers to you. And I want to encourage you that this is a big setback for you and for everybody, your friends that run the place and that have now lost the business. And I hope and pray there was insurance, and I hope and pray they're able to rebuild. And I hope and pray that they're able to rebuild and you're able to get a job there again at some point. But in the meantime, all I can do is really offer you my prayer and my encouragement. And I want to let you know that this will pass. You will come to not a side of this to where you're just like, oh yeah, remember when that happened, but to where you will be able to get past it without the stress coming back. When things like this happen, we do suffer from PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder. I've suffered from that from many, many different things in my life that have happened, and I understand it very well, and I've dealt with it many times. Colin, I don't know if you're a Christian. I don't know if you go to church, but if you are open to that, here's what I would suggest. I would suggest finding, and you can ask your friends, if you're not a churchgoer, if you're not somebody normally going to a church, and you have friends that you know that do, I would ask them if you could sit down and talk to their pastor. Little time. Look, a lot of people, you can go to counselors, you can see counselors. And I've been to therapy many years of my life. I've gone to therapists and talked to therapists, and I find it to be extremely helpful in life with things. Talk therapy is extremely helpful, especially with things like this. But, sometimes when money is short and such, the first place that we all should be able to go is our local church. Churches are meant to be that for people. No matter what you believe, no matter what you think, know that most people that are running your local churches are loving, caring individuals that want to do right for the community and for those that are lost or those that are feeling hurt and those that are alone, those that are without. The food kitchens and the help that my church here does, along with every church in my community, is tremendous to help the homeless, to help mothers, the single mothers with children and trying to get by, and just those that don't have enough and making sure that they do. But they're also there to listen, and a pastor is there to listen. And if you're going through the stress of this, I don't want you to go through it alone, Colin. I really don't. So I'm praying for you. So what you need to know is you got your brother James right here praying for you. And I'm so sorry. And it is important for you to take in everything that happened, to process it, and then to move forward in it. It really is. It's okay to get angry. It's okay to cry. It is okay to write it down, to look at it, to feel these emotions. It's not okay to hold on to it longer than necessary. You need to find forgiveness for the fire. That sounds silly, but even though it was an accident and you're mad, that's frustrating. Find forgiveness in it of that. This is just part of life. Just as you said in your letter, everything's flammable. So it is a part of the risk of this type of work. So find forgiveness if you can in even the fire, as silly as that sounds, that fire that stole from you, because fire is a real thing. Look, we've been dealing with it here where I live right now with these fires, as I talked about earlier in the show. It's a real thing, and it is amazing how it destroys and how quickly it destroys. So try to find forgiveness, try to move forward, but also know that this will pass. The feelings of stress and anxiety and depression about it will pass. Breathe every day. Breathe through it. Be mindful every day. You are safe. You are good. Your friends are safe. Everybody's safe. Things were lost, and that is hard.
And you can feel the emotions of that. But then at some point you need to set it down and go, and now it's time we move forward, we rebuild, we get stronger. I'm going to pray that work comes up for you, but I do recommend you go to your local church, you talk to a pastor, and you just say, hey man, I just need a little help. I just need some encouragement. You know, if you don't have a Christian faith, know that my Christian faith says Christ is there for you. Now, who is Christ? Christ was God incarnate. God loved us so much that God, the creator of everything you see, think, imagine, feel, whatever, was created by something greater than us. And that something greater than us went, I'm going to make myself like my own creations. I'm going to belittle myself, if you will, even, and come down to their level. And it's not like God said, I'm going to come down to their level, like I'm making it sound. He's saying, I'm going to come down to their level, experience everything they experienced. You know, Jesus was a human being, a real life human being. And, you know, was a baby, and all that had to be cared for by humans. God, the creator of all things, made himself to be a baby and cared for by his own creation. And then, of course, killed by his own creation, and then rose again by his own strength to forgive us of all that we do wrong. That's the gospel right there. And if you go, wow, okay, I thought this whole thing was, be good and don't do this and don't do that. No. It's about understanding that God loves us enough to be at our level, to feel what we feel, and then to take the burden of the weight of the grief and the pain and the sin, the hate for ourselves, and remove all of that. Take that burden, those burdens from us, and take them away from us through his own death and then his resurrection to say, and they're gone, forever, done. You don't have to deal with it anymore. That's the God I believe in. And that's what he does for us. So he looks out for us, Colin, and he's looking out for you. And I believe that. And so I hope and pray that you can get some counseling from someone, good counsel, from friends and the church, if you can do that. Step up, give it a shot. Okay? Step out in faith and give it a shot and talk to somebody. And know that you can write me here anytime, Colin. I am so sorry, and I will be praying for you. That's a tragic email, and I'm blessed that you listen to my show, and I'm blessed that I could be an encouragement to you. So God bless you. God bless you. God bless you. I hope to hear back from you soon with new positive things happening. Okay? All right. Let's see, Bob. What else do we have here at the James Arnold Taylor Podcast? Reading emails today. That's pretty much the push of the show.
Oh, yes. Yes. It's this one is from Caitlin in the USA.
All right. What's Caitlin say?
It says, hi, James. I'm normally very shy, but I wanted to reach out and share how your work has impacted my life.
Oh, that's very nice.
I grew up watching a lot of the shows you've worked on, like Johnny Test and Clone Wars. I'm in college now and planning to graduate next year.
That's awesome. Congratulations. Keep with it. Keep with it, okay?
Yeah, oh yes. I follow you on social media, and I've been listening to the podcast since it's first started airing.
Well, that's awesome, too. Thank you so much.
Oh, yes. I have to say, I identify a lot with Billy the intern.
Oh, Billy.
Oh, yes, Caitlin. Oh, yes. That's very nice. That's very nice of Caitlin. Yes.
Yeah, isn't that awesome?
Oh, yeah. That's like somebody likes me on the show.
Yes, of course, everybody loves you, but Caitlin identifies with you. Go ahead. Go ahead there, Bob. I'm sorry.
Oh, yes. It says, we are similar in age, and we both want to be successful, and we are both afraid of failure.
Well, yeah. Billy always wants to do the right thing and to help out, and is really trying, and I can see that you are as well, Caitlin, so that's very cool.
Yes. However, your podcast and motivational words have comforted me many times when I have had anxiety and felt uncertain about my future. As a fellow believer in Christ, I believe God ultimately has a plan for everyone, including me.
That's awesome, Caitlin, and that's true, yes. You don't need to feel anxiety or uncertain about your future. You know why? Because you're a follower of Christ. He's got this. If you believe in him, The words he said, Jesus said, do not worry about your life. Look at the birds. They don't worry. They don't go out and make food and do all this. They just simply are provided for. And God loves the little birdies, but he loves you so much more. So don't toil. Don't have anxiety. Don't have fear. Don't worry about your future, Caitlin.
Yes, okay, that's very good, yes. She also says, of all the projects that you've worked on, my favorite is the Clone Wars. My love of the show started when the movie came out in 2008. I was only 11.
Wow. Time flies.
And it hasn't stopped since. Now, as much as I love Obi-Wan, my favorite character is actually Plo Koon.
Oh, well, that's cool.
His courage and leadership ability inspire me to be brave when facing my own personal challenges. And he has a very unique and cool-sounding voice.
Ah, yes. Koto ya, Caitlin. You are very wise in the Force, and a very good judge of vocal character.
Well, thank you, Master Plo Koon.
Koto ya, James.
All right.
May the Force be with you, always. And with you, Caitlin.
Thank you, Master Plo. Plo Koon, ladies and gentlemen. Plo Koon just made a cameo appearance on the JATcast. That's pretty cool.
Oh, and yes, it says, could you please tell him I said hello and that I think he's awesome?
Well, I think, we just did right there. Look at that.
I believe Caitlin's awesome as well, James.
Well, thank you, Plo Koon. He came back just to say that for you, Caitlin. Look at that. Pretty cool stuff.
Some personal stuff. I'm from California and about a half an hour north of Thousand Oaks, and I'm really passionate about agriculture and livestock. I've had the opportunity to work with cattle, chickens, pigs, sheep, goats, and organic farming. One thing that I've learned about is using livestock, mostly sheep and goats, to sustainably manage rangeland. We use the animals' grazing habits to do things like curb the spread of invasive plant species and clear away potential fuel for wildfires. One of my dreams is to put the knowledge I have to use and help preserve our state's natural beauty.
So now, Caitlin, you're one of the people. So, because I live in the Thousand Oaks area, all these folks, this is what people were saying, that they bring the goats out and they eat up all the sheep and the goats, and they eat up all the grass and stuff to help keep the fires away from houses. And in fact, I was having on Halloween night with some of our friends that came over for adoption day. They were telling us how the sheep and the goats in their neighborhood, and they live out here, were eating up all the stuff. And in fact, the fires didn't get close to them last year because of that. And people were so grateful. So thank you for what you do. I think it's so awesome. Isn't that neat when nature comes together with science and does all this cool stuff to keep things from happening that might damage stuff? Look at that. How cool is that? And that Caitlin is a part of that. Caitlin, you're awesome.
Oh, yes, and in conclusion, she says, please tell Hank, Billy, Bob, Mr. Announcer Guy, and everyone else I said hello, and God bless you and your family.
Well, thank you so much, Caitlin. That's wonderful. And God bless you and your family, and God bless you. That is a wonderful email. We've had some wonderful emails here already today, Bob.
Oh, and doobity-dee and doobity-doo, and we still have more.
That is awesome. It does my heart good to hear that young people, it's wild to me how many folks have grown up listening to my work. It's really a weird thing. It's very cool. It brings joy to my heart that people have listened to my work and all these years, and now they're old enough, and now they're in school, and they're doing this, that, or the other, and they're changing lives, and they're, doing stuff. And that's what this podcast makes. What makes this podcast so much fun is that it allows me to then get more personal with all of you, show you who I really am. And again, sorry for those of you that aren't Christian. I hope this is just an interesting look into the life of a Christian and not too annoying that I'm always talking about Jesus and how I live my life. But, he really is just the basis of everything I do. And I say it every episode, and I'm sorry. I'm repeating myself all the time, and I'm not apologizing for my faith, please. Please know, and for those of you that are Christians, know, I'm not apologizing for my faith because none of us ever should. I wish everybody believed the way I do, but I also know that everybody that listens to this is not a Christian podcast. Maybe it should be, maybe it'll become that. I don't know. But, or maybe I'll have a secondary podcast that is that, because I can just then do scriptures and things. I've thought about doing some, there's the opportunity, Libsyn. I use Libsyn for my podcast stuff, and Libsyn has a place where you can put bonus content. I've thought about doing bonus content for the podcasts of little prayers and, meditations that I do that are Christian that I would just record for all of you. So when you're feeling anxiety or you're feeling stressed or any of that, you could click on those and you could listen to those that would be separate from the podcast. Because I do know, again, look, so many of you, I want to thank my non-Christian audience. I really want to thank all of you that are non-Christians for hanging in there with me on this show and listening to me anyways. Because look, it's not the way you believe. And I never want to push my religion on anybody. But of course, I wish everybody believed the way I do. Just like you all wished I believe the way you do, I'm sure. Because again, what do we say here? Know what you believe and why you believe it, how you came to believe it, and all of that. I know what I believe and I know why I believe it. And that's why I do believe it and that's why I talk about it. But I also really, my goal here is to make Christianity be as normal as anything else. Because there's a lot of people that you're walking around with on a daily basis that are Christians and they're just not saying it. And I know we're not supposed to talk about politics and religion are the things that people say, but here's the way I look at it with religion for me is I'm not trying to say anything to offend anybody. I'm just trying to honestly say who I perceive Christ and God to be. And in that, he's non-offensive. He is non-offensive because he's about love. And I think everybody should be about love. I think everybody should be about love and understanding of their fellow human beings and the world and the wildlife. Because I like Caitlin here, I'm very passionate about wildlife and preserving wildlife and animals and protecting them and all of that. And sometimes people say, well, that's not very, that Christians are more like, they don't care as much. So see, that's where you start getting into the political aspects of things. And I'm a big tree hugger like anybody else that loves the environment and all that. I really do. So there you go. I'm sorry, I'm off on a little tangent there, but I really enjoyed that email, Bob. Thank you so much. What else we got?
Oh, and doobity-dee and doobity-doo. Let's see. Says, this one is from Levi in the U.S. Levi. I like Levi, wearing Levi jeans. Oh, yeah, and doobity-dee. But I don't think it's the same person. Oh, no. Says, my name is Levi. I know you probably hear this a lot, but I just would like to say thank you so much for everything you do. You are truly inspiring and have helped me in so many ways. I really look up to you. You have so much wisdom, and I really learn a lot from you. I really hope to meet you someday.
Well, that's very nice. Levi, thank you for saying all of that.
My question is, I know that your podcast, Talking to Myself, is where you do voices and talk to yourself.
That's right. I'm doing it right now.
Oh, yeah, and doobity-dee and doobity-doo, yes. But I was wondering if you'd ever consider having another voice actor on the show as a guest where you both do voices that you voiced and just talk. I realize that might be tricky to do, but I was curious about what you think about it. From your friendly neighborhood subscriber, Levi.
Levi, I really appreciate your question. I really appreciate your email. Thank you so much for all that you were saying there. Yeah, no, look, I've got no problem with talking to my fellow voice actors on the show and doing voices together. And maybe at some point we'll do that. I feel like, there's other podcasts that cover that, though. And this has really become my outlet for me. Now, originally, if you listen to the first few episodes of the show, I did different things. Like I had sections where I played interviews with my time with Frank Oz or Mark Hamill or Ian McDermott or Carrie Fisher, different people, Peter Mayhew, and some of my Star Wars interviews. And I've interviewed my friend Alan Arnold on here. I've had, stuff like that. And I think, I don't know. You know what? In fact, all of you, I'd like all of you to know, to let me know. Let me know in the comments on YouTube if you listen on YouTube. Let me know in the reviews, I guess, on iTunes. If you listen on iTunes, please give me 5 stars and a nice review. But let me know in emails. Let me know if you would like me to interview people. The problem is once it becomes then an interview show of other actors, it becomes this whole thing of then I got to get them in. Oh, can you come in and can you do it? And right now, the beauty of this podcast is I can do it whenever I'm available and flip a switch and do it. And then I don't, because scheduling with all my friends, it's very difficult because all of our schedules are so difficult and busy and there's so much going on. And trying to get, okay, so Tuesday, can you be there and I'll call you or you can come over to the studio and we'll do, and it just becomes a whole thing. Now, if I happen to be around somebody and it happens to work out to where we could do some stuff, I would. But this podcast isn't so much about voice acting. It really isn't. It's more about life. It's more about life lessons. It's more about learning how to cope with things, but learning about being mindful. It's learning about trying to be the best people we can be and be as positive as we can be. And I could certainly have people on and talk to them about those things. I was talking to my dear friend, Catherine Tabor, on the phone this weekend, and she was saying some stuff that was just beautiful and wonderful. I said, I have to have you on the podcast soon, and you need to say exactly that. So I'll probably have Kat on soon, and we'll talk about that stuff. Her and I have been threatening to do a podcast together, talking about being Christians working in the world of Hollywood. And maybe that'll happen soon. But yeah, Levi, I don't know. I may have from time to time some people on, and I know that many of you would probably really enjoy it. But listen to Talking Tunes, there's probably some other voice actor podcasts out there. Butch Hartman has Speech Bubble. He talks to a lot of voice actors. All my friends that have these shows where they're talking to other voice actors, it just kind of becomes, I feel like it becomes the same old thing. But I like your idea of each of us talking in the voices we do. There's something there. That's kind of fun. And that's silly and fun. That's kind of what I do, though, with Clone Wars Conversations, which is on my YouTube channel. If you don't know about Clone Wars Conversations, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and check that out. It's a lot of fun. There you go. But yeah, so that's what I would say about that, Levi. And maybe we'll do it. Well, I'll look from time to time. I'll see if I can add that into the show. But I thank you for your input so much. And I thank you all for your emails. Bob, I think that's all the time we have right now.
Oh, and doobity-dee and dibbity-doo, you've got to go do your interview soon.
That's right. I've got an interview coming up here in just a little bit. Who's it for? It is for Kimberly Bouchard. Kimberly is a writer. Kimberly has written a book, and she wrote a whole book, Positively Disney, and she has a podcast and everything, and I'm going to be on her Positively Disney podcast here. That's what she's going to record me as. And I was in one of her books, Positively Disney, that she has. I believe she did a Star Wars edition, and that's when I was in it. And she interviewed me and Ashley Eckstein and several other people. And so thank you. If you want to be like Levi and all the other dear folks that have sent emails to me on today's episode, you can do so by going to the James Arnold Taylor podcast and click on the Jat Show link and all that stuff like we said before. I hope you do it. Bob, thanks for joining me here.
Oh, and doobity-dee and dibbity-doo, we'll talk to you next time, James.
All right, Bob, we'll see you later. And there he goes. And, oh, hey, look, Mr. Announcer Guy, you just popped in.
I had a feeling you were going to need me soon.
That's right. I need you to do the legal mumbo jumbo.
Legal mumbo jumbo, here we go in 3, 2, 1. Talking to Myself, the James Arnold Taylor Podcast is a production of Yumigo Inc., recorded at JAT Studios. Engineered, written, recorded, and produced by, you guessed it, James Arnold Taylor. All voices are parody and should be construed as entertainment only. All music and sound effects used with permissions and licenses through Backtracks, Digital Juice, Production Tracks, and Partners in Rhyme. James Arnold Taylor's Talking Myself, the Podcast, copyright 2019, all rights reserved.
Thanks, Mr. Announcer Guy.
You got it, man.
All right. So, everybody, thanks for listening to another episode of the James Arnold Taylor Podcast. I hope you're digging it. Hope you're liking it. If so, again, please subscribe to my social media, Jat Actor, J-A-T Actor, Instagram and Twitter. I'm on Twitter more than I'm on Instagram, but I'm rarely on Facebook, but you can follow me there as well if you're only a Facebook person. And I'm on YouTube, and if you're listening on YouTube, give me a nice comment, give me a thumbs up, say hey, say hello there like so many people do. And let's close the show opening randomly to my book, JAT 365, 365 Daily Inspirations for the Pursuit of Your Dreams, and read a page from that book. Day 254, it says, What Do I See? That's the topic. The title, I should say. It says, it's happening right now, your life. So live it right now. Stop, look around, and say aloud all the good that you see, and then be thankful for it. Have a blessed day. And then I ask a question, what do you see? See, in this book, I pose things to you, and then I ask you questions, and then it's got a little place for you to write down and journal. So if you don't know about my book, JAT 365, there it is. What do you see around you that is good today? Take a look at it as we end the show, breathing deep, drinking water, being mindful. Take a look at all the things you see in your life today and see if you can see some good stuff. And I mean that for all of you, especially all you dear folks that have written me emails. Colin, especially. Take a look around, Colin.
There are good things out there for you. I know there are. I'm praying for you. And all the rest of you, Caitlin and Levi and everybody that has written me beautiful letters here today. And all that you will write new ones too with questions and comments and concerns here at the James Arnold Taylor Podcast. Thank you so much. Love y'all. Blessings to you all for a wonderful week. And we'll talk to you next week. Mr. Announce Guy, do the bye-bye this time.
Really?
Yeah.
You mean I can do the bye-bye?
That's right. Go ahead and do it.
Well, I just did.
I know, but we weren't ready.
Okay. Goodbye.
That was so good.
Thanks, man.